Just a little experiment for a little show and tell application here. This is an original XM-1801N out of a Nintendo Red Tint. I recently posted about this Nintendo Red Tint acquisition that I got, and it came with the original monitors, which is the whole reason I really even bought it. And then it turns out that both of them were bad. This one had a shorted yoke, and the other one had a it was stuck with the B plus at 82 volts and it would not turn on. And I changed out the voltage regulator and it didn't fix it. So there's something way wrong with that other one. I haven't even tried to work on it. But this one had a shorted yoke that was just sizzling. And I changed out the yoke with a K7000 yoke and it fixed the problem of deflection. But I had a triple image and horizontal squishing issues going on, and it was completely butchered. Whoever did the rework on it trying to fix it just completely butchered it. I fixed all the bad solder joints and solder pads and verified that the cap kit was installed properly, but the whole problem was, even if I was able to get it up and running, it has the reproduction flyback that causes the 3/8 inch black bar on the side. And even if I got that chassis working, I did not want to live with that 3/8 inch black bar. I did not have the original flyback, so I did not want to use it. It's sitting over here. This is the complete 1801 chassis. It's working, but has all those aforementioned problems. I did not want to live with it on this, well, I didn't want to live with that black bar. So out of desperation, I took the whole thing off and set it aside, and maybe one day, maybe I'll get back to it or sell it the way that it is. I don't know. I'm not going to use this. What I did was I took a K7000 and put it on this tube. So to answer the question, can you use a K7000 on an 1801 18-inch tube? Absolutely you can. The image is square, it's not too wide, it's not too tall, it's absolutely perfect. You would never know this is an 18-inch monitor unless you tried to put it in a 19-inch cabinet, but it absolutely will work. Now this is an original 7000 yoke, but even with that, this should still work on an 1801 yoke, but the 1801 yoke vertical winding is, I'm sorry, horizontal. Horizontal is around 5 ohms and the 7000 is around 2.3. So you may have to change out the C38 for the width cap to get the right width, but it should work in that aspect after you do that. So even if you have the original 1801 yoke, you still should be able to use a 19-inch 7000. So that's what I have here. I have the 19-inch 7000 on an original 1801 tube. And I just used some foam board here to set it as an isolator and put a couple of self-tapping screws in here. I don't know if you can see the one over here. I put a couple of self-tappers, there it is right there, self-tapper there and a self-tapper over there. So it's nice and secure, and it the other end here actually is not in direct contact with the tube, but there's about 1/8 of an inch or so between the filter cap and the tube and the metal frame here and the tube. So there is some room for it to move. It's not in direct contact and it's nice and secure. So you can mount this in here. I had to remove this because it won't fit on there with that different neck board. Plus the holes for the adjustments aren't the same. So you have to be careful when handling this. But can you use a K7000 19-inch on the 1801 tube? Absolutely you can. From what I can tell, no issues. Now you also notice that this is inverted. This is a standard res, non-inverted chassis, but I'm running inversion. How is that? Well, it's very simple. It's a very simple and easy mod. Let's get my pointer out. Where did it go? Here we go. Tweezers. Okay. So the way this works, if you have a K7000 and you want to convert it to inverted colors, it's very simple. All you do is you take the 3 bipolar caps here, even though these 2 aren't bipolar. I didn't do the work on this. Somebody else did, but originally these caps sit right here, and right here. You just take the 3 caps and move them from their old location up one. So you move from here to here, here to here, and there to there. That's step 1. Step 2 is there's normally, this jumper is normally in this location, this jumper is normally in this location, and this jumper is normally in this location. So you take these 3 jumpers and move them from here to there, from here to there, from here to there. And in the old location where the jumpers used to be, you put 3 670 ohm resistors. So there's a 670 ohm resistor here, a 670 ohm resistor here, and a 670 ohm resistor there. So after installing those 3 670 ohm resistors and moving those 3 jumpers up one location and moving these 3 caps up one location, that successfully inverts your color. So now I can drop this in to the red tint and be absolutely good to go with a much more reliable and easier to work on chassis. And does it work on 100 volts? Yes, it does. I have an original Nintendo power supply here. Not power supply, I'm sorry. Isolation transformer and transformer assembly. And it's got the 100 volt output here. And this is running directly to the chassis here. So will it work on 100? Absolutely. The B plus is solid at 120. 121 is more like what it is. But it works perfectly. If I scroll through here, you can see that we have the successfully inverted colors. If I switch dip switch 4 back to off, you'll see that it goes to inverted. So if I was to hook up an actual JAMA PCB, it'd have inverted colors. If I flip dip switch 4 here, it should flip it back to non-inverted. There you go. So let's turn this off and back on. Yeah, inverted. So now if we disconnect, let's turn this off and disconnect that and hook up an actual signal from my Mortal Kombat PCB here, we get inverted colors. There you have it. So you can absolutely use a 7000 on the 1801 rather easily. It's a direct plug into the 100 volt supply in the red tint or in your Nintendo cab. You know, get yourself an isolator. I just used some 1/4 inch foam board, a couple of self tappers. It sits in there nice and easy. It has a little bit of wiggle room, and otherwise, yeah, it's nice and secure and it works great. So there you go. I just wanted to make a little quick video here showing that this is possible. If you have an 1801 that is troublesome, just get rid of it. Throw a 7000 in here. Actually, I should mention it's the small neck. This is the 7-pin. The 7-pin skinny neck version of the 7000. You have to have one of those. The neck boards are interchangeable. If you have a regular, the actual main board is no different. Only difference between the skinny neck 7-pin and the 9-pin is just the neck board. So you can swap the neck boards out and it should be fine. But yeah, get yourself a 7000, throw these shitty 1801s out of the way in the garbage, and put a 7000 on here, and it's good to go. So now I do have the other red tint monitor. I'm going to do the same exact thing. That yoke ohms out correct. It should be okay. It's about 14 ohms for vertical and 5 for horizontal. So I'm going to take a 7000 and put it on that tube as well. And then for, I guess, maybe a part 2, we will see if the 1801 yoke, the original 1801 yoke, will work with the 7000 the same way this one is. So I'll mod that one as well for the inverted colors. It's a very easy mod to uninvert if you want to put it back to regular standard colors. But yeah, so just something quick and easy. You know, we're hit 8 minutes here, and wanted to put this out there. If anybody else has this conundrum or this problem in the future, you can put a 7000 on it, and you also know how to mod it now to make it the correct inverted color option for the Nintendo games. The only real drawback is that when you have this in here, the H position pot is directly in front of that bar there. It's right, well, it's hard to see. You got all the flyback wires in the way, but H position is directly in front of the the support arm there. So you kind of have to get in here at an angle to be able to adjust it. If I can even get in here. There we go. So you can see I got the screwdriver in there rather precariously, and you can turn it. For instance, if we go here, you can see, there we go, perfect. And there you have it. So now I have a drop-in. Oh, it's actually pretty perfect. The width is perfect. Vertical's perfect. Got the inverted colors. And this is 100% ready drop-in replacement into the red tint now. So I'll get the other one done, see if I can make this make it as successful as this one. And then I may actually start restoring that red tint. I can't say. It's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of work, but we'll see. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next monitor. See if I can get that one working to look as good as this one.